outerwear, like the way you put it on.
It definitely changes the game. It's funny because I think that's actually low key how you start like Jay started liking me more because we I met him randomly off Instagram too. I was looking for models like for clothes, and I had these old like tag hoodies. They were super fire, and I asked him and another person to come model for me one day, and he just really liked my clothes, so he like kept talking to me all the time, and I was like, oh, like we're like actually friends, and then like I actually really wanted to quit at one point. Like a bunch of fucked up stuff happened to me, and I was like, I'm super done with like clothes. Like I'm done. I'm gonna be like a normal person and live a normal life. Like like I don't know, be boring. And then so like Jay was like, you should probably keep doing it because you're a lot better than like a lot of these other people were. And then like that's really all I needed. And I was like, oh, like I can totally still do this. And now it's like a lot more fun than it was when I first started. Brought a lot of invigoration back into the the fun of it.
I feel like the main thing that I fell in love with your clothes was the embroidery and the quality. Like that was one of those things. Well, remember when Mahadre came out and he was like, "Wow, this is quality."
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He was like,
nah,
"This is something Guess makes."
Nah,
yeah,
this is nah, it's real nice.
Big,
I mean, the fact that you kept with the embroidery for real. Because screen printing is cool, but like you could really keep some clothes for a minute if you got that shit really like stitched in.
Yeah, the only thing with the screen printing is that if you do it on that, on cheap material, it only lasts a couple wash cycles, and then it just wears away, and it's not sustainable, especially if you're trying to be a little bit more environmental friendly, but also cost effective too. If you're paying high for screen printing and it doesn't last, you're less likely to get someone to come back and buy something again. Yeah. Whereas you make quality and it lasts longer, they might not buy all the time from you, but you're gonna have someone that's gonna
they have something in their
build
mind.
a customer base, and they're gonna tell someone like, hey, I got this is good material, this is where I got it from. I put sand in the hoodie, or something different.
I know people be doing that.
Stuff like that where it's a little bit different from the norm, and it makes your product stand out in a way where people could identify it with you, and that's how you build a brand, right?
It's actually really funny that you say that. Is it was on Saturday when it was at Hate at the Milk Bar. We were like just out at like this like event that Family Art Group was having.
The Sauce Fam.
Yeah. Sauce Fam.
Sauce
Fam
Fam
my bad. I got confused. Yeah, it was Sauce Fam. But they had like a really dope ass lineup, and one of my friends, Nico, who I did like a collab with, we made like these really cool hoodies, and we made these T-shirts too. But I had never done screen printing before, so I went to like a person I didn't really know that well. And we got them screen printed, and they were garbage. They were like horrible. But like he had already been like, "Yo, I'm selling these shirts." So I was like, and I sold them to some people. And a dude that bought one, he like came up to me and he's like, "Yo, you run Rebel Status? I bought that shirt. It was a piece of shit at like one." And I was like, "Oh no!" Like, and I was like, the first time that's ever happened to me. And I was like, I swear I don't make T-shirts like that anymore. Like when I make prints, like I make sure you can like rub it, like you can wash it like 100 times and it'll be okay. But
like you put the rhinestones on the shirt.
Yeah, or the rhinestones. Yeah, 9-star rhinestones that last forever.
Oh shit.
We're trying to change it. But yeah, like screen printing, you can only do so much with it, especially when you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like when you make those like peel off ones that come off after 2-3 washes, like I don't know. I did that to that motherfucker and I feel disrespectful.
As far as you getting into designing and getting into the clothing industry, do you have any type of like formal training or education behind it? What was the start for you to push you that way?
Not really. I know how to like do a little bit of sewing, but I was never like too crazy at it. Like my mom had showed me a couple things when I was like a little kid, and so I was like interested. Like I could do like little things. Like I used to like cut pants down the middle type shit, and then like just like put them together. But it was never like anything crazy. So like really everything I did was a mistake, like from the start. But either some of them were really, really good mistakes that like just helped me like level up, or they were bad mistakes, and I was like, oh, like you live and you learn, But I have no like sort of training. If you asked me to like make something for you, I probably could not make it on the spot.
And well, that's what sets people apart, is that we all find our own path on how we get there.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is the fashion one. I'm not. She's the one that teaches me like certain things, or she buys me things to wear and whatnot. She's really good at thrifting. She went to school for it and everything. She's worked at Wasteland. She's worked for other companies. She's currently a buyer for a company. And so I didn't realize how much goes into an actual brand as far as product development, making sure that you're working with the manufacturers, and a lot of times you're working with manufacturers in China and having that dialogue and making sure that they have enough product or in stock for you. Trial and error, because a lot of stuff you're going to get is not always going to be success, as far as you put out something and then they'll send you back and you're like, what the fuck? I remember you were telling me earlier, it was like you made a sweater and the like a part of it came out too large, like one of the logos.
It was funny though, because that actually kind of came out well. I'm kind of lucky too, because like the dude, I don't really work with Chinese like or like manufacturers, which is, you know, shout out to China, but like I'm not really fucking with that. I feel like that'd be too fast fashion. So I work with this dude who's in California, but when we messed up on that was also like a huge mistake. Like I remember being really mad. I know you were really mad, and we were both really like disappointed for a second at this like purple sleeve, but then like
everybody left
it. Yeah, like everyone's like, yo, it's way cooler now, and we're like, oh, okay, like this is awesome. Never mind. So like, yeah, so some again, like I don't know, sometimes mistakes are really awesome. You know,
you have happy mistakes sometimes. I mean, it happens. Those are some things that you get blessed with. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but you live with them and you learn. Either you learn from it or you keep making that mistake until you actually figure something out.
Yeah, most definitely.
As far as both of you, what is it about fashion that you love? I go with you first and then.
I mean, like, for me, like, I feel like the reason I, like, make fashion, like, in the first place is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever felt like this. I feel like all of us have, though. But, like, your parents will have something that's, like, super cool in their closet. Like, that, you know, maybe it was made in, like, 78 or something. But it still holds up really well because, like, it was, like, embroidered or, you know, like, it was just made really well. Like, it's cool to, like, give that to your, like, offspring or whatever, like, someone that you care about and be like, yo, this is something that's, like, 30, 40 years old. So that's, like, what I want to do with fashion, you know? Like, I want you to give this, like, to your fucking kid and think it's the coolest thing ever. So it's, like, I don't know, like, I just kind of want to, like, make something that, like, is going to be here for a long time, like, is not really, like, a fast fashion kind of thing. I don't know. I just feel like pieces. I feel like so annoying saying that. But, like, making clothes is, like, very, like, a personal thing. You know what I mean? Like, I have, like, some clothes that, like, I've had, like, since I was, like, 12, you know? And it's just because it was made well and it was really nice and I bought it, like, 3 sizes too big, you know? So, I don't know. Fashion is important.
I think one thing that you said is that we're all wearing clothes.
We're all wearing clothes. So no one here is naked.
Yeah, that part. And so it's like, you know, we all need clothes. But I think for me, the first thing that popped out of my head was character design. And it's one of those things where it's just like, when I was younger, I used to want to make, it's funny because like he wanted to make music and I wanted to make clothes type of thing. But it's one of those things where I'm not that good at drawing. And so I never really pursued that. It was always easier for me to just write. And so I would just run with that. But I always thought about like, so being super intentional with the colors that I'm wearing, with the way in which I look with the clothes on me. And I'm not even the type to really like be down for designer or really be watching like runways all the time. But I have been in a few shows and I now know somebody that really knows what they're doing with the clothes. And so it's cool to really see that process behind it and like really, you know, get my little foot in. Cause, you know, cause I like a lot of colors. I got a purple sleeve right here. You know what I'm saying? I like things that, you know, catch the eye. I like things that are special. Like like things that really like, you know, maybe you've seen it before, but you haven't seen it on somebody in a minute. Or maybe you just have never seen that before and you're like, whoa, what's that? And sometimes it could be a lot, but sometimes it doesn't even need to be a lot. Like simple is really cool sometimes. And so, you know.
True. No, yeah.
That's what I'm about.
I like to keep things simple as much as I can, not really flashy on what I wear. I don't wear any jewelry, anything like that. I never like necklaces or rings or anything like that. So what I try to do is wear something simple, but I also love supporting people locally. So I've always tried to buy from local brands, local community members, you know, what they're selling. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'll wear it and I'll go out there and show what it's about. I've never been one as far as wearing designer either, anything like that, because I don't know about it either. Mm-hmm. I used to be a huge, you know, believer in thinking like, you know, fashion was dumb or whatever it might be. But then you realize everything is like comes from the top down. Yeah. So if you're buying fast fashion, it has to get its place from somewhere. They're all copying the top sellers. Exactly. And so you think you might be not following trends or not, you know, thinking you're not doing something, but you actually are. You're following whatever is picked out. So there's a fall, spring, summer wear, winter wear, and it's all picked out beforehand. And one of the things that I'm trying to get away with is stop buying fast fashion. Is stop going to H&M. Is trying to get stuff thrifted, locally sourced. I do go to Ross still. I still go to a place like that. It is cheaper.
Still got some good clothes at Ross.
It's still some good stuff. You can find some really good finds there. But it's my girlfriend's the one that put me on that because she just made it known like the impact it's having and how much waste there is from just fast fashion.
Most definitely.
And like how much landfills are just filled up with clothes and people don't realize that. And there's so many other people, different populations in this world that don't have, clothing that we have here. And so it's you try to be a little bit more intentional with it, but it also shows who you are and your identity on what you're trying to express. As far as like what you're bringing to the group or to the table, so to say, like you say, colors, like you say, like design, like far as like the rhinestones or whatnot, and it's like, what message are you trying to display outward? And it might not always be like that. It might just be for yourself. And that's one thing I learned is that you're not wearing it for others. You might just wear it because it makes you feel good. Like who gives a fuck what people think or say? Or as long as I feel good in this, I look good in this. What does it matter what other people's opinion of it might be, right?
I mean, he's heard me say it, but like for the first like 4 years or something of me making clothes, I was like, I really don't care if anyone likes it. Like if I like it, I don't really care because I'll wear it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for like a long time, I'm not saying that I don't do that now because I do make stuff that I like, but like I'll like, I don't give a fuck. Like I make like the clothes like that I think I'd like to wear like on like a sunny beachy day or like a really cold night, or you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, you do want it to stick around. Like just recently I was telling a girl over here, it was like maybe a week ago, I was walking home from my job in Berkeley and this homeless dude was wearing a really old sweatshirt I made. Like I could tell it was mine because it had the shield on it. And I was like, I thought it was really cool because I'm like, this dude is still warm enough in this sweatshirt to like chill out for tonight and be like comfortable and still look really cool, to be honest. So it's like, I don't really care who gets it at the end of the day, but I do want it to be worn like for as long as it can be worn. Like it wasn't like tattered or anything, it was like still really looking nice quality. And I was like, dang,
Yeah, I mean, when I come to these podcasts, I learned a lot about the guests, and I didn't realize that I didn't know that about you because I never met you prior. So like I didn't know that you cared about the sustainable factor of the clothing that you're making, which is rare to hear in people that are actually making this stuff. They're basically pushing brands out there. Nothing wrong with that. You push your brand, make your image the way you want to be.
Yeah, it's kind of like, once you post something, it's gone. Like that's, I feel like how a lot of people think, like, same with like artists, like musicians, like once you post like a shirt or a jacket or a new song, like you post it once and it's like, you assume everyone's going to know about it. But it's like, I don't, that's not what I want. Like I'd rather like post about it like hella times and get in your face about it, kind of be annoying. And then like, like somebody's going to wear it and that's cool to me. Like it doesn't matter if it's your grandma, like your auntie, like an old person in bed who like just wants to be really comfortable and can't move all day. Like if that's like what you want to wear my clothes for, that's cool. Like I definitely don't want to see in a landfill. Like that would make me feel horrible.
Yeah. So what is the next step in the process for you? What are you looking to do with your brand as far as the Rebel status and as far as your designing?
I'm kind of in like a really weird area right now because of the whole Rebel U. We didn't really talk about it, but like I made like these crew necks and I'm featuring like an artist every day for new music kind of thing, like because I love music and fashion. So I'm doing that for the next, 70, 80 days or something like that. So I'm focusing on that and I'm trying to see what comes of that. There's like a lot of things in the works right now with stuff like that, but I don't know where that's going to go still. So I'm kind of like keeping it pushing. But now like a lot more people are looking at me. So last year I was making like a new clothing item every month. This year I want to do like collections, yeah. So like a spring collection, a fall collection, a winter collection, a summer collection, that kind of thing. So I'm gonna do that. I'm still gonna focus on that, but I'm also gonna see like what Rebel U kind of brings because there's a lot of cool stuff on the table. But like, I don't know. never really gotten attention like in that kind of way. So it's like, what is really gonna come of it, and what's just like hype? You know what I mean? Like, there's this weird juggling game going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, how do you predict coming out of that? Right? It's like it's a lot of variables.
A lot of cool stuff has. I mean, like me, I'm very what's the word, like introverted. I don't really like talking to people like that much. You know, like I like can be social. I can like go out and have fun and talk to people, but like my preferred night would be like to stay in and chill. But like I had to meet like 100+ people to do this. So like I met like really really amazing people that I like look up to, and I was like, yo, like you inspire me. And then they were like, this is amazing, like you made something creative. And I was like, what? And then there were people who like, you know, I never knew at all, never had heard of, and they ended up being like the coolest people and are like some of my good friends now because of it. So it's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it's weird to see people from like both sides of the spectrum, where it's like I'm not like one to care about followers, but it's weird to like see like someone with like 20 followers and fuck with you, and someone with 50,000 followers and fuck with you, and you're like, what? Like I'm nowhere like in between either one of you. You know what I mean? Like how do either one of you guys like want to fuck with me? I don't know.
I mean, I couldn't tell you're introverted. I thought you.
He's real humble about it.
I'm real good at like talking to people, but I just don't like doing it that often.
No, I mean that's why I started the podcast, because I'm very extroverted. I love talking to people. I used to be a counselor before, so it's like something that I like to do. But I am around a lot of introverted people, and so I understand that a part of it is really hard, especially when you got business to do. You know, when you got certain things you got to push out there. It's not always easy to put yourself out there and feel vulnerable. No one wants to feel like that.
Yeah, definitely a little embarrassing trying to talk to people that you don't know and be like, could you like check out my clothing brand? You know, like it's kind of tough to like, you know, think of like the right way to like talk to people. I've definitely been like hella awkward with people, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Let me leave him alone. And then there's other people who are like, oh, I know you, and then it gets like really like cool and homie-ish, and I don't know, but you never can predict those things.
Have you done pop-ups yet? Have you been around the city doing pop-ups?
I've never done a pop-up. I'd like to. It'd be really fun. But I'm not really the biggest fan of vending. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like public vending is like, it's just kind of annoying because you have to be in one spot the whole time and like wait for people to come to you and then be like, hey, do you like any of that? You know? So I've only done vending twice before for Aaliyah. Shout out to Aaliyah. Yeah, she does this show once a year called A Haunting on 3rd. It's like a Halloween event, and she's asked me like since she started like, hey, like can you be like a vendor, because I don't know that many vendors. And I was like, okay, like I'll do it for yo ass, you know. But yeah, I'd love to do like a pop-up, but it's just like one of those things where it's got to be like right time, right place, right venue, see what's going on. I'd want to do like, we're talking about doing like Rebel events, like, you know, like Rebel U events where we get like the students who are like involved in on the project who would like open up or do performances, and then I'd just be on the side like selling crew necks kind of thing.
Yeah, if you ever side topic, if you guys ever want to do that, I work at Speakeasy sometimes, and they do events every Saturdays there. And taproom manager, he always looking for vendors, set up events, and get tapped in with him and do a Rebel U event. Daly City did an event there.
He does them like quite often, doesn't he?
Yeah, he did a every once in a while he does them. He did a big one last summer, I think in August or September.
Summerfest.
Yeah, that
I was
one.
there. Yeah,
you were there that day. So you could do something like that there. I mean, you could always, if you know the artist, you could bring them in. They had a little stage, and you get set up the
That's
booth.
the easy part now. The hard part is the vending.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to vent, but just have it at an event. You know, just have an event, a place
show out
for you. That'd be
sick. I mean, it'd be a lot easier to get people to like come to one of those. Like,
yeah, that'd be really sick. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, Speakeasy's cool. That's cool to know that you work there or like do stuff there. You know?
Yeah, once in a while. I was a customer first, and then I got really inspired by their events that they have every Saturday. So like, just seeing the community coming together. And that's basically why I started this podcast, because I had lost a sense of community moving here. Out here in the city, I didn't know that many people moving out here, except for, people that I, relatively that knew it was small, and then a couple of people from college. But coming from a small town, out in the country near Fresno, I know, everyone. Every time I go back, I always see someone that I know, or, I have a lot of friends that I'm so good friends with, that I grew up with, that I knew since I was like 10, 12 years old. Coming out here, you don't know anyone, and the podcast gave a opportunity for me to build, a community. And when I go out and I see people now that we know each other, and you say what's up, or always go to events and you just have a beer with someone, have some food with someone. Just chill out. That's just something that made me love the city again, and not feel like fuck, it's just going so fast.
No, I definitely feel you. That's how I feel too. Like I knew like a couple people, but like I knew like Jay. I knew like maybe like 3 other people other than Jay that like lived in the city, and like when I did this, like now it's like I know like hella people. Now it's kind of weird because you go outside and like you'll be somewhere doing groceries and someone will be like, Adam, what's up? And you're like, what the fuck? Like, so
Yeah, that's probably cool, be hella weird. Just like being outside and being a little bit different.
It's a little more fun. I feel like that way. Like it makes it more like, I don't know. Like as much as I say I'm introverted, still like it's still nice to run into someone that and just be like, oh, what's up?
Yeah.